It's hot as crap outside. If anybody's wondering why I'm not dressed to go to work, I mean, you have to think, as an IT person, you know, sometimes you got to get on the floor and do stuff, and you can't dress casual or formal knowing you're going to get your clothes dirty. Like, you know, a little dust here and there. You don't want to get that on your nice clothes, so that's why I'm not dressed to go to work. Everybody, I am Disturbriana. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that bell to be notified on future videos. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you again for tuning in. So you're probably wondering why I'm in my car right now. It's because I'm going to work. Going to work every day at the time that I have to go in every day, which, you know, for those, know I work at night, so reminds me why sometimes I hate driving. I wanted to let you guys know why I waited to get my license till I was 20 years old. You know, I'm 23 and I've only had my license for 3 years. Within 3 years, I already been through 3 cars. My first car was a 97 Honda Civic, which I had got from my neighbor, but that didn't last long. I had got a 2002 Nissan Maxima, which I think I had it for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So from February to November of 2017, I had the Nissan. And as of now, I have a 2016 Honda Civic, which I got November of last year. I was just going to search for something to save for, and I ended up walking out with a new car, or driving out with a new car, I should say. It's like now with me driving, I understand why I waited as long as I could to, even drive. I had friends that, were already driving at a young age, 15, 16, 17. You got me, which I didn't mind being, in the passenger in the back seat, where I didn't have to worry about the frustration of driving in traffic, things of that nature. I didn't have to worry about all that, and I was very comfortable in that. Reality hit when I went to college. Freshman and sophomore year in college, I was already comfortable with, taking a megabus back and forth home if I needed to, or if my mom had to pick me up and stuff like that. The problem with that was, my friends who could drive, they had to take me to the megabus because I went to Lock Haven, PA. Ain't no megabuses are going there, so I had to go to Penn State, which is located in State College, to catch the megabus. But oh no, that's not good. This lighting is like really bad right now. Junior year was the year where I was just like, you know what, I need to be serious about driving, because no one, is going to continue to, help me forever. After a while, I had to get my boyfriend Jeff to, rent cars to either visit me or to, pick me up. Because, in some cases, my mom couldn't, whether she really couldn't or she really didn't want to. I've had to accept the fact that I got to get over this fear of driving. I took my permit the first time in 2011. And I did it because my mom was just like, you should take it. And at the time, I was studying for it, but I wasn't all the way ready. So when I took it, I failed. It took me 2 times to pass my... It took me 2 times to take my permit, but that was okay. So while I had my permit, I was practicing driving home from work. Well, back and forth to work. On the weekends, my mom would let me drive to work on the expressway, and coming home from work, I would go home like on a route that I knew by heart, which was Germantown Pike going to Ridge Pike leading to Hembry Ave. One day I just randomly scheduled my test while I was at Lowe's. On my lunch break, I scheduled my test, and my mom was like, are you out of your mind because you're not ready? And she was right, because of the simple fact that I didn't know who car I was taking. I just assumed I was gonna get in hers. She was like, nope. My coworker said she would let me use her car, but it didn't turn out that way because it was a family emergency with her. So I used my grandfather's car for practice of my route because it was near his house. So he had an SUV, my mom had an SUV. I practiced in big cars. So when it actually came time for my test, I took it in a sedan. And what I had to do was, because, you know, I didn't have a car of my own or anything like that, I was told from one of my coworkers that you can rent a car from someone for at least $50. So there's people that hunt out at the DMV and they'll wait for people who need to take the test and they'll let you use their car. And they'll take you over the route, you know, however many times I guess you pay for it. So with me, they took me on my route twice. I couldn't practice parking because there's actual tests going on. So I was really appreciative of that. So the guy was really nice. I didn't even know part of the test was testing out the buttons in the car, the hazard lights, the turning signals, the horns, all that stuff. I didn't know that was part of the test. So I learned that day. Because I got there early, I actually ended up taking my test early, which I was like, I am not ready right now. Like, who did it and why? Nah, no thank you. The nervous part of taking a test is parking, and that's the first thing you have to do, unfortunately. So I'm like, all right, this is a smaller car. I should be able to do this. And you know, you take your test, you only get 3 forwards and 3 backs. So if you use them all up and you're not parked right, you fail, whether it's getting in or getting out. So luckily, I was able to handle the smaller car. And you know what? And I thought I tapped the curve. And I think I did slightly, but I think there's a rule that if you tap it and it doesn't bounce back, then you're still good to go on with the test. And that was what it was with me. I tapped the curve, but it didn't bounce back for the instructor to notice. So I was able to continue on with my test. I didn't have to get out the car. And I was looking at him like, you're not gonna tell me to get out the car? Like, and I didn't say that out loud, obviously. I had finished my test. I passed my test, took my ID. I got my full locks that day. And that was just a good day. Again, I was 20. I'm 23 now. So even with me having my license, but when it came to me having to, you know, for instance, pick my boyfriend up from the megabus if he wasn't renting a car, yeah, I still had to ask my friends because they wasn't gonna let me use their car as a new driver, you know. I had to understand that. I think I was a little stubborn at the time, but I had to understand it. What I ended up doing was, when I started applying for credit cards, I used that to rent cars for me to pick them up so we could use for the weekend if we wanted to get out of town, or, you know, just me getting home in general. I was just like, you know, I don't need my mom to pick me up. I don't need Jeff to pick me up. I could just rent a car because there was an Enterprise and go home from there. And that's what I was doing until I got my own car, which is why I'm trying to fix my credit now. That's my story of why I waited till 20 to get my license, and I wish I waited later because I really be getting frustrated. If you guys have any driving stories that you want to share, let me know in the comment section. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Check out the past videos that's been uploaded so far, and I'll have more coming to y'all. So you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday at noon. Y'all already know. I'm out because I gotta work now.